My dear students, as you know, I have already completed the second chapter of standard 10, that was the sector of economy. So there are some questions that is in the exercise. You will find the answer everywhere. However, I tried my level best to solve the questions of given questions. Okay. So first question is, should one focus on employment and GDP? Explain other issues. So here there are two parts. One is the why should one focus on employment and GDP. So as we know that there are three sectors in the economy: primary, secondary and tertiary sectors. These sectors is useful as it helps in estimating the GDP because each sector has its own output. So it is also useful for estimating importance in the growth and development of the economy. It also helps us in calculating how much goods and services has produced in a year. It helps us to know about the employment, that how many people work in each sector. So why should one focus on employment and GDP? Here you will get the answer in question number 2 on the basis of three sectors. But another question is, explain other issues. So except employment and GDP, what are the other issues? So first other issues is balanced regional development. So as we know that each area does not contains all kinds of resources. So it is the responsibility of the government to develop all the region in a balanced way. Second, that is the equality in income and wealth among the people of the country. So if there is a gap between rich and poor, so what will happen? A class will create among rich and poor. So the government should try to equally to control the gap by providing income and wealth. Second is the eradication of poverty. It is the responsibility of the government how to remove the poverty in different sectors. Modernization of technology so that the production may increase. Self-reliance of the country. So if more technology will be applied in the production, we will be able to self-dependent or self-reliance in the production process, or our country will become self-independent. How to achieve surplus food production in the country, it is also the another issue of the government, that through the green revolution, no doubt we have achieved so many multiple output, but as the population is increasing, that's why it is also an issue how to achieve surplus food production in the country. So here explain the other issues means a number of things which we have to apply in the economy. Now the second question, explain or classify economic activities into primary, secondary and tertiary is useful. How? So every sectors, either the primary, secondary and tertiary, is useful because it helps in the growth and development of the country. It also helps in the calculating how much goods and services has been produced in a year. It helps us to know about the employment and how many people are engaged in each sectors. Next is the tertiary sector is different from other two sectors such as primary and secondary. Explain. So this is absolutely true. This statement is absolutely true. Primary and secondary sector produce goods, but tertiary sector does not produce goods by itself. So what is the use of tertiary sectors? So in a simple word we can say tertiary sector helps us in the production process, not directly but indirectly. That's why this sector supports in the development of other two sectors for production process. For example, transport, storage, banking, communication, insurance and trade activities. These are the example of tertiary sectors, and so these are also so important in the production. For example, goods are produced at a particular place, but it can't be consumed at the same place, so it is distributed at different place with the help of transportation. So transportation is most important. As we know that for the production, capital is essential, and this capital can be obtained from the banking or from the banks. So bank is a part of tertiary sectors. So all these comes from the tertiary sector. That's why we can say the tertiary sector is totally different from two other sectors such as primary and secondary. Next question is define, distinguish unemployment and open unemployment. Here you can also get a question, differentiate between disguised unemployment and open unemployment. You can also get a question, what is the difference between both of them. So disguised unemployment is also known as hidden unemployment. Why it is known as hidden unemployment? Because here if we remove some people, there will be no change in output, and that's why we can define it. It refers a situation in which more people are engaged in a work than required people. So if we remove some people, there will be no effect on output. For example, in rural areas, agriculture sectors, more people are engaged. In the urban areas, many plumbers, painters, carpenters, etc. are engaged. So why these peoples are engaged in the urban areas? Because these are the people who don't get job daily basis. As a result, more people engage themselves to complete the work within the short period of time. So that is an example of disguised unemployment. Now open unemployment. So what is open unemployment? It refers a situation in which people are willing and able, this is the most important, willing and able to do the job, but they do not get the job, and that's why their income is not a single penny. And that's why here I have written here, an individual is not earning a penny. Is it clear? So he is not capable to earn even 1 rupees. So in this way you will have to write the answer if the question is asked in the board exam. Okay, thank you.